So, Jamie Gittens, looking imminent to join Chelsea, but why is he perfect for Chelsea? We're going to talk about it. So, as we already know, in this system, okay, the wingers are absolutely key. And we've seen that this season with Noni Madueke, and we've seen it with Neto and Sancho. Those two, so Madueke more so than the other two, he offers that directness on the wing. And you're going to constantly put those players into those 1v1 areas. You're going to put them on the ball and you're going to want them to go at their man. You want to isolate them, maybe don't use blue, as often as possible with their fullback. Now, the first key trait for a Maresca winger, in my opinion, is the goldfish trait. And the reason is, of times you're going to isolate that player is probably going to be 10 plus times a game. What you don't want is them to shy away from taking on their man. Something Sancho began to do, even though he's good at dribbling, but he knew he didn't have the explosive level to get away from the player. So he'd often, again, sort of shy away from it. Mudryk, we saw it progressively. At the get-go, he would always go at his man. And then slowly, as things went wrong, he started to shy away from it, and progressively get less and less likely to make that action, which is not a good thing, especially under Maresca. Madueke, as much as people sort of hassle on at him, he will go at his man. He will do it. If we quickly look at the take-on numbers, right? Madueke, he attempted 4.59 with 2.08 successful. Now, Sancho actually has 4.82 completed, but 2.2 successful. But the difference is, Sancho would sort of beat his man, like I say, and then he'd almost cut back because he couldn't get away. Whereas when Noni does it, he's direct. And when he does it, he beats the man and he goes into the box. The difference in terms of carries into the box, Madueke has 3.92. Sancho had 2.75. Neto had 1.83. Okay, so it progressively scaled downwards. Sancho, I actually really like him as a player, and I think he would have, he just doesn't have that same power to get away in the Premier League that he needs, especially when you're playing a low block, because you need to create that separation for yourself. And we're going to talk about why Gittens does that perfectly. Now, Gittens' numbers, so we're saying 4.59 for Madueke, attempted take-ons, 4.82 for Sancho, 4.24 for Neto. Gittens has 7.97 attempted with 3.57 completed, so a 44.8% success rate, which is close to Madueke 45.3. Again, Sancho 45.5. He's a little bit more efficient, but like I say, he doesn't have that same sort of zip to get away. So that's extremely important. And he also has 3.06 carries into the penalty area, which is more than Neto and Sancho. So again, you're starting to see a theme there. You want somebody who's direct, carries into the box, has the pace to get away, has the power to get away, uses their body well in the duel as well, and that's key. So that's one massive point of why Gittens, and you can tell from those stats that he has the goldfish trait. 7.97 attempted take-ons. That's pretty much the definition of the goldfish trait. He will go at a player every single time, and that is what I love about Gittens. Now, it doesn't come without its flaws. I will mention those now. In terms of when he does go at his man, he can, of course, be so direct and so engulfed in the idea of going at his man, beating him 1v1, that he doesn't always get his head up to make the right decision. So his decision making hasn't hit a level yet. He will sometimes, if he's already made the decision that he's going to beat his man on the outside and cross it in, it's very unlikely he changes that decision. Same on the inside. If he's already made that decision and he's sort of eyeing up how he's going to beat his man before he cuts inside, and he's already made the decision to get the shot off, likelihood is he's going to do that. Again, his shooting efficiency is important, and that's another reason why I really want him. He's a shoot-first winger rather than a creator. He has 2.49 shots per 90, so it's actually not the highest shot volume, but he gets 40.3% on target. He shoots from distance, his average distance at 17.7 yards, which is more than Madueke and Sancho. The only one with a further distance there is Neto. And he also has the second highest XG, Noni way ahead with 0.47 per 90, but Gittens with 0.18, Pedro Neto with 0.13, and Sancho, this is the key detail, with just 0.10. So, and Sancho only having 1.15 shots on target. So again, really important that Gittens sort of adds that on the left-hand side, because it's something we don't have on the left in comparison to what we have on the right. And especially when you consider that you're now going to have Esteval getting minutes on the right. Now, not saying straight away that he'll be the starter, but long-term, if you're going to have Esteval, who you want to be a little bit more creative and you want to give him that little bit more freedom to drift inside and connect play, you want the left side to give you what Noni was giving you on the right if you're going to have this wing pairing. And I do think Gittens suits having, I think Esteval and Gittens as a pairing, wing pairing, works very well. And that is why another reason why I'm so big on him. Let's move away from the tactics board for a minute and let's talk about why Gittens, like what I like about him. Now, first of all, what is he elite at, in my opinion? And it is creating separation for himself. His ability to go from a standstill to create the bit of separation that he needs and create an action quickly to open up an angle and take the angle as quickly as he can. He can do this with passing, but it's not something he's fully unlocked yet. But what he does it brilliantly with is, like I say, crossing at the byline and especially creating an angle for a shot. Now, in this scenario here, you can see exactly what I mean. He's got defenders swarming him in the box. He's taking small touches. He's still upright where he can sort of adjust his body really well. And then the next move, he's already away from this player. He shifts really quickly onto his right foot, quick shift, and he can quickly get it through the gap of all these defenders. Look how many players are swarming around him, and he's able to do that. When he's in these wide areas, something that he does really well, and we've already spoken about the goldfish trait, but the second trait that's so important for me is how he keeps his body upright in these moments so that he can go both ways, okay? He's upright here, and you'd expect, with the defender sort of showing him away, that the easiest option here for him is to go down the line because he's sort of blocking him from coming back inside. But the fact that he's upright, he's using that ball manipulation that he's got tight at his feet. His step over is a signature move. And then he actually manages to shift, make the defender jump towards to block him off going to the byline because they're scared about that burst of pace that he has to go. In 2 actions, he can get to the byline, go across instantly, 2 actions. He barely has to move to open up this angle to get a shot off. And it's these moments, these really quick angle changing moments that are so key and why I love Gittens so much. And I think it's just so important to, 1, breaking down a low block, but 2, for just being a perfect Maresca winger. Again, we go to here. Look at his body orientation, upright. He can go both ways. He's sort of surveying the situation. You got an extra defender on the inside. Can he get to the byline? Where's the defender's body weight placed? Is he coming towards you? Where can he beat him? So he's got that upright body right orientation. Okay, body right, upright. As you can see here, bursts towards the byline, and then before anybody can get close, because he's got that burst that Sancho didn't have, he goes from here to here, beats the defender. Nobody can get over to support because the burst's too quick, so they're not going to be able to cover that space either. Gets the cross into the box, creates a chance for his team. And it's those moments that, from the standstill, that burst of acceleration, that explosiveness, but also the tight control, like I said here, it's the difference to be able to go both inside and outside. And he has both of those capabilities, and it is extremely key when it comes to talking about Gittens. And that's the second reason I think he's a perfect fit for Chelsea. So if we go back to, let's go back to the tactics board. Back to the tactics board. I was going to say a few more stats that were important to speak about. So we spoke about his shot efficiency. The other thing that, again, is so important, and we talk about that ability to create off the dribble in those isolations, because, again, in these moments, they're going to be creating off the dribble because you're in these 1v1s, and can they either create a chance to deliver from here off the dribble, or can they create a chance to get a shot off the dribble? In terms of shot creating actions, Jamie Gittens and Noni both have 3.57 shot creating actions per game. Pedro Neto has 3.72 and Sancho has 3.73. So they actually have more shot creating actions, Pedro Neto and Sancho. However, a lot of those shot creating actions are for other people. Whereas Noni and Gittens, they create more off the dribble. If we're talking about successful take-ons that lead to a shot attempt, Sancho has 0.20, Neto 0.31, then a big jump to Madueke with 0.47, and then a huge jump to Gittens with 1.24 shot creating actions from a successful take-on, which is absolutely huge. Again, 0.27 from being fouled, which is double Madueke, well, nearly double Madueke. nearly doubled Neto and more than double of Sancho. And again, goal creating actions, Gittens actually has the most, 0.45 compared to 0.39 of Noni. Sancho has 0.55. So this is what I mean with Sancho. Sancho's are more from those passing moments. If we're talking about passes, Sancho creates 3.37 of his 3.73 shot creating actions from passes. Neto 2.62, Noni 2.59, and Gittens only 1.79. So you can see how Gittens is more creating his own shots off the dribble rather than creating through passing for other people. But that's not to say he doesn't have the ability to create those passes. Now, again, crosses wise, Maresca makes 3.3 crosses per 90. Neto makes 5.64. Sancho only made 1.38. Gittens somewhere in the middle of everybody, all between Noni and Sancho, with 2.3 crosses per 90. But again, it's something he can really unlock because his ability to get to the byline and put that cross into the box is actually really, really strong. And I think with somebody like Delap in there, hopefully we can get a little bit of joy from that and he'll start to do it a little bit more. So that's another point that I wanted to point out in terms of Jamie Gittens and his crossing ability. Let me know any questions you have on Jamie Gittens down below and rate this transfer out of 10 in the comments.